What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in once again. I had to brace myself for a minute because our Grandmaster teacher, Dr. Claude Anderson, I just happened to see that he was on a live on his channel speaking at the Museum of African American History. Now, this is Black History Month, and I've kind of been slacking on my Mackin just a little bit. Black History Year. And real quick, I went down to Memphis and we went to the museum down there. And man, they were trying to diversity and inclusionize everything. They were trying to do all of that. So big shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson for going to that museum out there in DC. If I ever go to DC, I'm definitely going to check it out. But anyway, that's a very important guy, to the movement and, trying to give black folks tangibles and everything. But anyway, let's get into some straight tech. Now, I said that I was going to do the AI censorship analysis. I'm going to wait for that a little bit because I got some things to do. And the next time that I talk to you guys, we're going to cover another important black person. I wasn't prepared as I should be today. Some things kind of came up, some lightweight emergencies. So, but what we are going to do is I want to kind of do an analysis on this Veritas merger in detail. And then I also want to cover a couple other different things as well. It's going to be rather quick. It might be a little longer than I think, but I don't know. I don't want to feel rushed, but then again, I'm a little bit short on time today, so I will come back. If I don't come back tomorrow night or tonight, and do another thing for you guys, then definitely this weekend. Okay. Wait a minute. Somebody just emailed me for a position. Where is this at? Okay. Hey, let's do it live. All right. So now this is that same position. Let's do this live real quick. So this place called Cardinal IT, they got a referral bonus of $500 for a referral. This is that Egan client through Northrop Grumman technical support. They want 2 to 3 days on site, 6 months. Now the shift is 11 p.m. Central Standard Time to 7:30 a.m. So you're monitoring up to 300 applications, determining the cause of alarms and taking appropriate actions with logging alerts. Initiate, maintain, and manage critical incident phone bridges for WebEx and Zoom. They just want you to have a high school diploma in 5 years or a bachelor's degree. Now, I had one of my homies over there, and then you got to get a public trust clearance. Now, what is a public trust clearance? They want to talk to everybody and your mama. That's what I've been told. That's exactly what I've been told, that they want to talk about. They want to cover everything and make sure you're on point. So I'm going to shoot this over to one of my homies here. I'm going to shoot it to one of my homies here because their head office is in Princeton, New Jersey. So that's through the agency. But this is probably through a government job. So let me see. Okay, they emailed me again. So I'm getting a bunch of emails here. All right, that's fine. But anyway, let's go through this quick analysis, and then we're going to cover some other little things. We're actually moving a little faster than I thought we would with some of this. So let's do this merger.
All right, Sanjay.
Now, remember what I said before. Veritas was bought cheap. But I want you to check out what they're saying on this. This new company called Cohesity. Well, not a new company, but they're in San Jose. They got the game lock on AI. But before we do that, there's something else. Now, this company, it's privately held. And their company develops software that allows IT professionals to back up, manage, and gain insights from their data across multiple systems or cloud providers. Now, they were founded in 2013. by a man named Mohit Aaron. He's the former CEO. Now they got a new CEO right now. So that guy probably either sold the company or he's probably on the board of directors. That happens. And when you go to Cohesity, the first thing they say is Cohesity and Veritas, creating a new leader in power, data security, and management. So, and then they say organizations trust Cohesity. So they got the USDA, IRS, Hyatt, NHS, Cisco, NASDAQ, the US Air Force. They got the game on lock. That was a smart buy. Veritas was doing so horrible that they had to sell out. Veritas didn't buy them. It was the other way around. So let's check this out here. This is the CEO.
CEO of Cohesity. Now, I've been talking for the past few months about the potential for Cohesity coming public in 2024, but you've got some big news this morning that is changing not only the timeline there, but the calculus for the whole industry. What are you doing?
John, great to be on your show, and pleasure to have you. I think you've studied this industry now, talking to us and various players in the market, so you know this market very well. I joined the company 18 months ago, and we're very excited today to be announcing a combination with Veritas. We'll come together in a transaction that's combined value of $7 billion, and it's going to create a new leader, a $1.6 billion revenue pro forma revenue, 1.3 billion in ARR, very profitable, 27% ARR. We've been the fastest growing company in the space relative to everybody, and we believe, from what our customers tell us, the best tech. They've been the most profitable. So you combine the best growth with the best profitability, you get a new leader. And remember, focused on AI and security, which are the two things that are top boardroom topics.
Top boardroom topics, y'all. AI and security. So brothers and sisters, those are the kind of things you want to start talking about when you're putting your resume together. You want to start looking into cybersecurity. We're going to have my homie Cyber International on here sooner or later. Give us a little insight on that, some of the tools and the things that you're probably going to want to use. But those two things is in the boardroom.
And both boards have asked me to lead the new company, so I'm honored to be doing this in a bigger company that's going to be a lot more scale. And then coming back to your question, listen, 2023 was a tough year for IPOs, not many. You watched a few of those that went out. Our feedback from the bankers is 2024 is going to be so-so, maybe tepid. There'll be a few months people could go out. Then there's the election. Most of the good companies are waiting to 2025. So if we're going to wait for the right time, why not bulk up and get bigger and do it as a more attractive company?
Now, as you see in 2024, like some of my folks have been emailing me and calling me like, man, what's up with the jobs? Why is it so janky and stuff like that? A lot of folks right now is holding off. They're being very competitive. They're kicking back a lot of positions. I'm seeing a lot of positions that's being canceled.
One final stat our banker shared with us, which I think are important for your viewers to note. There's about 800 companies in the $500-600 million range. Fair
use, YouTube, fair use.
In revenue. That's kind of where we are today, standalone. There's about 40 companies, by 800 companies trying to go public. We'll see if they can, but in that range, 50 to 500. And there's about 40 companies that are in the 1.5 billion. So I think we get to a different echelon of companies. For us, the IPO was always a milestone, not a destination. So we'll go public when the time is right, but we'll be a much more attractive company when that moment comes.
So tell me about what portions of Veritas are joining Cohesity, what portions are not.
So it's actually one of the most creative deals I've seen. In fact, one of the lawyers who's worked on many transactions in the past.
He said we got the Nipsey Hussle deal. They made sure they got a Master P deal.
Including some of the VMware ones I've known in the past, said this was the most interesting creative deal he's ever seen in his life. And it's taken us 15 months of hard work to pull it off. Veritas has many different products inside it. The business we were most interested in is the data protection business that we're combining with. That's net backup appliances, their Alta SaaS business for data protection, and certain IT analytics products.
See, they want that data. They wanted the analytics. That goes hand in hand with AI. That goes hand in hand with Brother Chat. They said, look, give us the data because we know what to do with it. We got our AI right here. Veritas was trying to get towards that. They couldn't do it. They couldn't pull it off on their own. So what they had to do is they said, well, look, we gonna have to sell. We gonna have to sell.
Aptera. And then there's some other products, for example, the mid-market data protection business called Backup Exec, InfoScale, and their compliance products that we're not taking. That's going to be a separate company carved out called DataCo, and we're going to, combine with the data protection business of Veritas in the new company Cohesity.
How does the debt that Veritas might be carrying get handled in this?
Yeah,
So you're going to have to sell to us for the dirt because you got debt.
we are raising a combination of debt and equity, around $3 billion, to be able to finance this. The total merger size is $7 billion. And that will be done in I'm not an expert in all of the ways these debt exchanges work, but some part of that will go to pay off some of the debt that Carlyle had taken to take on Veritas, and the rest will be used to fund. So that will be a whole separate topic of discussion that I'm not an expert on, but we have gotten all the financing lined up for this transaction. And
we got that bag. Veritas, we gonna take your best and your brightest. We want all your data. We want all your analytics. We want your software. We gonna get rid of all you backline dudes that ain't in the cloud and AI. You going. We gonna get rid of all you little janky managers that was just sitting around, white and present. You're going. We gonna get rid of y'all. And we got the money. You see how confident this man is? He knows what he's doing.
Number of advisors, both banking and debt advisors, and how to handle that. Carlyle will handle that process with their existing debt holders in the coming months.
So normally when you have a smaller but fast-growing company, and then maybe you have a larger, profitable but not as fast-growing company, the situation is the larger one's profitable, and that's great, but it's at risk because there are smaller players who are looking to eat its lunch, right? And so this is a velocity question. How do you, on this combination, make sure that velocity of Veritas customers and that Cohesity already has continues, and that you maintain the customer base and get that benefit and don't have to play primarily?
Now remember what I said before, and I said this months ago. I said they are going to sell. Carlyle is not going to want to keep this crappy company. They're going to want to sell. And they have a lot of people use net backup. They're forced to use this garbage, but now it's probably going to get all trimmed up. What they're doing is they're taking a dusty chick out the projects and they're putting her in the penthouse. And you know what? I'm not going to be biased, because some people say, well, moving on up through the grapevine, you ain't got to be in the top 10. You ain't got to be in the penthouse in downtown Minneapolis or downtown Chicago. You could move her from those dusty, pissy project buildings, and you could put her on a 20 to 30 acre ranch. That's some good country living right there. That's some true wealth. That's some good country living. 30 acres, 5-bedroom house, 2-car, 4-car garage, horses, hogs. Get some blueberries. Get a wine. Get your little vineyard. Get you a vineyard. Now you're selling wine. So that's what they did.
Early defense.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm a velocity growth guy. I know no other vector than going fast. So it starts with leadership. You really have to ask yourself. See,
they trying to get on this. They're not going to wait. They're not going to be stumbling around and trying to figure it out and all that. He said, man, I do this. This is what I do.
From the leadership team, starting with me as the CEO of the board, the board's going to be growth oriented, mostly venture investors as the biggest shareholder still. Carlyle will take a stake in us. It'll be a minority stake. They're very important to us. Haveli is joining as a growth investor. But we're going to.
So they're going to keep people to know how to move the money. Now, here's the other thing. I'm looking on the website and it says It expands their global footprint, and I said this before in other broadcasts, I believe, to serve 10,000 plus combined customers. And that's 96 of the Fortune 100. Hundreds of exabytes of data protected. That means everybody. We got everybody now. You got to deal with us. It's kind of like, remember when Master P was in his prime, and I'm gonna still say he is, because he gave us the game. If you was in New Orleans or if you was in Louisiana, you going with No Limit or Cash Money. Now, eventually No Limit stopped selling as much. Cash Money kept selling. You had Nicki, you had Drake, you had Wayne, you had Thug. I'm just saying. You see, you're gonna go with one or the other. You ain't going nowhere else. There's nowhere else to go. Lil Boosie and them came later. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna go with No Limit or you're gonna go with Cash Money. That's what's going on right here. They got all the customers.
Focused on growth and innovation and speed. And that's the gear I've known. I mean, I've been involved in many transactions in the past, business objects getting acquired inside SAP, AirWatch inside VMware. I've done 5 or 6 transactions, some of that were bigger than this. And you have to set a culture of innovation and speed in the bigger unit.
Now, he's talking about engineering, innovation and speed. I need people writing code. I need people making this real good. I got to look good. We got to have good product. We have to roll out. We have to be... This is vertical integration at its finest.
And this, total employee size will be, a little over 5,000 people. That's small compared to the other companies I've been involved in running. So it's not a business size of business that's not, bigger than what I've handled before. We have to set the culture as we bring the two companies together that's focused on innovation. And that's what I'm excited about. We will have an engineering team that's 2x the size of some of the other players in our space. That allows us to innovate. And what are the top boardroom topics right now?
Oh, there you go. So he said, okay, yeah, we're smaller. This is David and Goliath again. Yeah, we're smaller than some of the big dogs, but everybody here got more game. We're smaller and we're smarter. So yeah, you might have an army of 200, 300,000, but all 10,000 of my armies are LeBron and Michael Jordan at his prime. All of them. All my soldiers, every single one of my soldiers are Davids to your Goliaths. Every single one. So we're going to beat you by that.
John, they are generative AI and security. And the technologies we have there are second to none, especially the generative AI. We've had the Microsofts of the world, the Googles, the Amazons, and now also NVIDIA. We're going to be doing more with all 4 of those companies. Very excited about it. So we drive that innovation. I'm going to be honored to be the CEO of the new company. And I'm going to set that agenda from the day one of close. It's going to be about innovation. And the other engine, like a 2-engine plane, is about customer obsession. If we take care, there's going to be 10,000 customers in the new company, 96% of the Fortune 100, 80% of the Global 500. I'm going to go on a tour to meet all those customers with Greg Hughes. Their CEO is going to join our board. And we're going to take all care of all of them. That's the customer.
So he's doing the sales, the old school sales approach. I kind of like that. I'm pulling up. See, he's politicking. See, this is true politicking right here. He's going to pull up on everybody and say, look, I'm here to serve. I want to hear what you got to say. What are your ideas? And then I'm going right back into my team and saying, look, we need to make this. We need to make that. We going to engineer all of this. We going to make it to y'all going to have to mess with us.
Obsession side. I think if we focus on product innovation and customer obsession, yes, the vector of growth and innovation that's fueled cohesivity and what I've seen before.
The vector of growth. Y'all write that down. The vector of growth.
At VMware is what we're going to bring. And it's going to be a unified culture. I mean, 18 years ago, John, I worked at Veritas. So I know these people. Some of them are still there from those days. Greg Hughes, I knew from those days. Deepak Mohan, their head of engineering, I knew from those days. Lenny Alugas, their head of support, I knew from those days. So we're going to meld a culture that's actually very compatible even today. We are located, we're in San Jose, they're in Santa Clara, 5 miles away from each other. Their center of gravity is in India, in Pune, where we have some people. So as we think about, we've already been thinking a lot about the cultural unification. We believe we can set a growth-oriented innovation vector, and that'll do us well. And when you've looked at companies that have pulled this off, the growth vector is what drives them. What we had been searching for and getting to at Cohesity was a faster path to profitability.
Another thing too that I noticed, I don't know why, but I kind of got the feeling that if you get over to Cohesity, it ain't gonna have the same dry Veritas style. Something's telling me that they have a different culture.
And also a faster path to many of the regions. See, many of the companies like us that have been 9-10 years ago have not created a lot of critical mass as yet in international regions. That's hard to do. We all get successful in the US and Canada, North America, but federal, Japan, Australia, UK, France, Germany, Latin America, these companies have been around for decades and have good products. Veritas still has a very good product, have been pretty sticky. Now we get together to go to.
It's pretty sticky. And he said they got good product. He didn't want to say the culture was trash. He didn't want to really get into that. Let me get y'all's customers. Y'all know what to do with this. Here, move over. Let me get in the kitchen. Y'all up here whipping up Big Macs and we trying to have soul food. Y'all up here whipping up Big Macs and double stack with cheese. No, let me get some. Let's get some of Grandma's cooking up in here. Let's get these candy yams going. Let's get these collard greens going. Let's throw a little cayenne pepper on it. Let's get some smoked turkey tail. See, that Big Mac ain't gonna compare. No. That home cooking ain't gonna compare to that Big Mac. It's gonna give you a stomach ache. I've come to rid you of the stomach aches.
Markets, and that just gets us a faster path. I've used it akin to saying we were climbing up the escalator to get to the number one position. Up the stairs.
I'll leave it at that, but y'all get a good idea. Something to look out for. Like I said, they're looking for engineering. So we did that analysis here. Now, another thing I wanted to do, let's see if it'll let me do it. But I wanted to do a software as a service position analysis. And I wanted to play that. So let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna open this up in VLC player and see if I can find it going on with my Bluetooth.
Just wanting to have.
Okay, hold on. If not, I'll play it another time. But let me see if I can find it. Is this it here? I guess it was something going on with my Bluetooth. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. And I got another interview that I'm going to upload for a application business position. Y'all can check the website. I'll upload that. If not tonight, I'll upload it this weekend. So make sure you check on your notifications. I'm going to stop the music for a minute and we're going to analyze this interview real quick for a software as a service company. I don't think I did this one, but I think I edited it and I exported a MP3 file. So it already had music going. Speaking of which, let's take a quick look and see if I already enabled it. This is weird. Okay, hold on. Let me get switch out of. Oh, I gotta watch that. Hold on. I'll put that on my watch later list. I definitely got to play that too. All right, let's see. Let me look at my account and see if I put this in here already. Because I don't think I uploaded it. And by the way, here's something that I forgot to mention. I need to promote myself more, y'all. There's a couple different things that if y'all haven't already watched, I did a story time on Basement Bob. I showed y'all something on how to use Salesforce Trailhead and to consider that. I did a video on that. That's in my video section. I did a video on how to record interviews. I did a quick little snippet on Trailer Trash Bob in the flesh. If y'all remember, I don't even really want to tell y'all what movie it was. If you don't have that movie already, you're in for a treat. But I got a video called The Piano, Trailer Trash Bob in the Flesh. I want y'all to check that out. I did another video called The Career Path, where I was talking about my career path. And I'm gonna get into that maybe a little bit another time. I think I'll be on another 20 minutes or so. But I did a review on what they call the Victrola turntable. My wife bought me a turntable, and this is tech, you know. And I was sitting there listening to Miles Davis Kind of Blue. I did a quick little review on that. So if y'all ever want a cool little turntable, it has this excellent, not only does it have Bluetooth, but you know, you can hook up speakers to it. But one of the things that I wanted to have was some study music. So I got 8 hours of rain and thunder. Not study music, but you know, studying for calmness, sounds for sleep. So y'all might want to go ahead and put that on your playlist. Maybe I should create a playlist for that. Let me customize my channel. Let me make a playlist. How do I create the playlist? Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me create the playlist for that. It should let me create a playlist. Why is it not letting me do that? That's kind of weird. Maybe I have to do it on my phone. I don't know. I'll switch this back over. So no, the software as a service interview. That's one of, I think I did one before. So let me switch my other account back. Yeah, so that software as a service playlist. That software as a service video, I'll go ahead and I'll analyze that, but it already has some music going. So we'll go through this a little bit. I guess there was something going on with my Bluetooth.
Gotcha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. You still have a few minutes to chat?
Absolutely. I hate it when they do that. I hate it when they call late and then ask you if you still got a few minutes to chat because they didn't call at the right time. Absolutely. Thanks again for calling.
Yeah, of course, Derek.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through a lot of the stuff that I told where I worked at and things of that nature. So watch this. Me too. And I wrote out one last Azure class. It was my first CRM support administrator for a medium-sized company called Syntax, which supports pretty much the upper Midwest and Wisconsin and Missouri and pretty much any of the medium-sized manufacturing businesses, and also companies like Ameriprise and a lot of state agencies and government agencies for their Citrix environments. Mm-hmm. And then I went on to do some Salesforce administration work. That was my first CRM support role at Hiawatha Academies. That was a school where it was a data-driven school where, if you ever heard of Infinite Campus and Tableau and things of that nature, I was the person that managed all of their instances. And during this time, y'all probably wonder, why does this sound so crispy? Why does this sound so good? Because I got the Rode Pro mic. Shout out to Rode Pro. I got the Rode Pro mic where I hooked up my Bluetooth. I turned on the Bluetooth for my Rodecaster Pro, and I paired that up. And so when I took the call, it came straight through my phone. Oh, it sounds great. It sounds marvelous. It sounds so marvelous. When I became a Citrix admin in 2016, the biggest highlights of my career, I would think, is being a technical trainer. I started teaching on the weekends to kids about IT using the Microsoft Imagine Academy platform, and then I was requested to create a curriculum for adults. And working with the Osiris organization, I successfully got over 200 people in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area certified in the Microsoft Technology Associate Program, and I got everyone jobs. So I'm going through all my stuff. So now we'll go a little further. To work primarily with development, 55 to 73.
Oh, so we going to the money. Organization?
Let's go to the money. Yeah, I would be looking at the range.
Resumes just don't do any justice to really just kind of figuring out what you're doing and really what are you looking to do next. So thank you for that.
No problem.
And let me ask Derek, obviously just a high-end conversation, just to make sure we're in the right ballpark with each other. In your next role, is there a particular salary range you're looking to target?
Now, this one I forgot. When I took this one as a case study interview, this one I really truly forgot. I should have did a little bit more research on the position so I could ascertain as to what I think they would pay. In my mind, I was like, hey, 70 to 90 or whatever the case may be. So I threw out a number that was a little above what my research should have encompassed. I should have done a little bit more research about the company before throwing this number out.
Are there any specific benefits or perks that you're looking for maybe from your new organization?
Yeah, I would be looking at the range, I guess, what's competitive to the market, I will say. Now, you heard what I said. I said what's competitive to the market, because they know that the thing is, you can't really survive off no 40,000, let alone 55, 60. You see what I'm saying? You really can't survive off of that, especially if you got kids. You'd have to almost sleep on somebody's couch. So I said competitive to the market. So they know, that you can't survive off of this. They're between 55 to 73K, looking things such as, 401k, health benefits, more important than anything, I would say. Sure. I guess that would be the package that I would be looking at around there.
Perfect. Obviously, just want to make sure, we're in the right ballpark with each other. And, first and foremost, Derek, I am by no means a subject matter expert on, our tier 1 customer support representatives here at Parts Tech, but, just a little high-end overview.
Yeah, so when she starts talking, when I came up with that number and she started kind of babbling about it not being a subject matter expert and all that, she didn't go right into a number. That's how you know she's going to come low. If you give someone a number, if someone asks you for a number and you give them a range and they start babbling, you know that it's going left.
Here at Parts Tech, we are an auto parts B2B e-commerce online marketplace. So we're kind of like the Expedia or Amazon of auto parts for businesses. That paints the best picture.
Oh, yeah.
And, right now we're just looking to continue to add to the team. And our customer support representatives here, obviously working with phone calls, emails.
Still no number.
Live chat, whatever it may be. It's just a little bit more, I think, on the front end, obviously, than maybe what you're used to on the back end. But still,
a little bit more on the front end than the back end. See, they hit me with the brother Umar. Oh, you don't have enough experience, underqualified. Okay, oh, you got too much experience, overqualified, as he says. They tried to Umar me. Front end experience, I just told you I had 7+ years of technical instruction. There's no more front end than that. You're literally training people how to use software. Let's see if she gets to the numbers.
The same concept. We're taking an issue. They're having trouble placing orders, or maybe there's a bug, on the website, or something's going wrong. Logging that into, Salesforce CRM. It's just kind of like being that end-to-end person who's,
Salesforce CRM. I covered that. I had that in the interview. I said, hey, I was doing some Salesforce administration. That should have shot me top of the list. But let's let her babble. Let's see what she says.
Got a problem. Here's the resolution. We've solved it and we've closed it. Okay. So nothing, nothing too crazy that I think you're not familiar with there.
Yeah.
And of course, Derek, our customer support reps here. So, we've got a little bit of flexibility for somebody, that's got a little bit more of the technical experience like yourself. So like our base compensation would be between 50 and 55,000.
So she finally gets to this janky ass 50 to 55,000. Out of all this babble, all this Mayo babble, man, she babbled and babbled and babbled until she finally got to the range. I'm not a subject matter expert. You'll be doing this, you'll be doing that stuff. Come on, cut to the chase. She didn't cut to the chase at all. She went straight into babble, and then she went into the price.
And then that's paired with an annual 5% bonus as well. And then, of course, benefits, perks, all of that fun stuff we would dig a little deeper in, if we were to move forward. But really what I would love to do with you, Derek, is, if you're feeling like this is a potential good fit and you want to actually learn a little bit more about the role and the company in a deeper conversation, what I'd love to do is present your information over to the hiring team, give them a little background on what we talked about here and in your skills and experience. And then if they feel like this is a fit, what we would do is set up a Google Meet session. So you would jump online and meet them virtually, obviously face to face. Because first and foremost, Derek, your time is just as valuable as our time is. And, we want to make sure that we are the right fit for you, as well as you are for us. Do you see yourself being successful here? Yeah.
Absolutely. And just looking at a track, it's like a very interesting company, for one, what attracted me was, there's been times, so I got an old school, I got a time machine, so I do need a place where I need to get my parts and stuff like that. So I just kind of riffed and raft on for a little bit, but they didn't set up another one. And they probably said, okay, this Negro here, no, he's going to stick around. We're not going to give him an offer. We ain't even going to set up to the second part because he's going to stick around till he finds something better. Choose and pass that on to the sales team and a lot of
here, Derek, and also, to potentially see what you think.
That I'm not a dealer, I'm not a supplier that I can use. So in the help desk, you want to get into something like that. You don't want to stay on the help desk. All right, now this is my analysis that was right after it that I played. So let's see if it's similar to what I was getting ready to say now, because I haven't listened to it in a couple weeks. Competitive right now and eating together. The double up. Much. Take care.
Here, Derek, and also, to potentially see what you think, about us here, if you get to meet them. So hang in there for a day or two here. And once we get some word back, I will certainly be in touch with next steps. And
much. Take care.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. See that's how you do it. You see that? It was straight to the point. That's how all these positions should be. Now, it was a call that was a little quicker, because sometimes I've been on the phone with contracting recruiters and they take forever to get to the damn point. And you done wasted your time. 15 minutes of your time, man, is a lot. We ain't got no time to be wasting, man. We black folk, man. We really don't. So this was my analysis post the phone call. That just for spur of the moment. I just took that just for the sake of doing that. I don't even have my laptop up and everything. I got all these other little things going on. Most of those level 1 positions pay anywhere between 50 to 55K. And y'all kind of know the background on, some of them websites I told y'all, if you go earlier in my program about the double up, try to remote as much as you can. In this case, now in terms of the double up, I reported this. There were some articles where people were talking about working 2 remote positions and things of that nature. I found another article that somebody sent me, and they wanted me to read it and analyze it. So maybe we got enough time. But let's take a look real quick here. This looks like they got a company well off. You seen the little whistles I threw. Oh, I got a 79 Riviera. I got a time machine. This is actually some software that I'm not a dealer, I'm not a supplier that I can use. So I might even try to use it myself. I need parts. I need some things to get my time machine together. But, the thing is, when you get on those calls, see, most of the time they jive you around. That was straight to business. That went straight to business. I don't have nothing bad to say about that. That call right there went straight to business. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm doing my little pre-analysis now, but I'm gonna go ahead and post this. Y'all gonna get this on the next analysis for the podcast, and I'm gonna throw this in there as an idea. And what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get that interview too. I'm gonna try to get that interview too, because like I say, if you're during downtime and if you're in a crunch, you know, like I say, unless you're a big cloud architect or something like that, or you got some major skills, things are getting super competitive right now. And in between, you know, with me, if I'm contracting and I'm just trying to get, like I say, it ain't much, but just to keep the boat afloat until something else comes along, then you could just go ahead and do that, you know. So those are the positions. Just to give you guys a little bit of game. That's a software as a service company. So what you want to do is, if you're in the help desk, you want to get into something like that. You don't want to stay on the help desk. You don't want to just get call after call after call after call. You want to basically just deal with the software. And then, you know, if you're dealing with, you know, a little BS L1 position or whatever the case may be, and it's just back-to-back calls and it's crazy. They're going to talk to you crazy. They're going to have all these processes or whatever. Nah, go ahead and get your help desk experience. Get you one of those positions for software as a service if you're fresh in the game. And then, you know, you can maybe do that for a little while. Go and get you a little double up or a little side joint on the side to complement that 55. You heard what I told her. I said 55 to 72. I knew that I shouldn't start too high because that'll scare him away. But she's interested just off of what she heard. So you see how quick she's like, man, I'm trying to set this up real quick, because she heard all the experience. But see, if I say, well, hey, I'm contracting right now. If you say, well, you're contracting right now, you're working. So they're like, okay, this person's probably looking for a home. So, you know, my thing was health benefits. Okay, what kind of health benefits you got? You need your health benefits. So I'm just showing y'all how to do this thing, man. Hey, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, see, that was my... Let's get the music back going. I just wanted to kind of give y'all, that was an interview, and I kind of edited some of it, but it is what it is. It was a decent interview. It was decent, but she did start to babble around the price. When she asked me what the range was, she started talking about stuff outside of the price. So, speaking of a double up, and this is from entrepreneur.com. I remember, and it was always not like a heartbreaking thing, but like a wrenching, like a cringy thing, when I remember a side hustle and people hustling and doing their thing and under the table and all that. Man, that was considered to be sacred. Not sacred, but that was like taboo. When it came to black folks and they side hustle, people used to look down on us for that. If you say you had a side hustle or you doing, oh, he's a criminal. Oh, he's a criminal. He's selling drugs. He's not paying his taxes. Man, listen. Entrepreneur.com, it's been all kinds, especially that one, was it Insider? These are big media outlets. Blatantly, and they're not talking against this stuff. Saying, look, man, if you could double up, man, like this dude here, it says, now this is from Jacob Zinkula, came out February 9th on entrepreneur.com. A millennial explains how he secretly makes over $250,000, secretly working 2 jobs, and shares tips for the overemployed. They are literally letting folks know how to go about doing it with no issue at all. And there's actually laws protecting you from somebody telling you you can't do it. There's laws. Now this dude, Tomas, a Georgia-based IT worker in his 30s, go ahead, Tomas, said his journey to an overemployed lifestyle. And this came off of, there's another article called The Business Insider, and I'm going to break this down the next time we're out. I'm going to read this whole article. But this first one, he said this lifestyle began at a very early age. He grew up very poor, he told Business Insider, and after his mother left his father, His mother and 4 siblings shared a 1-room apartment for 2 years. So yeah, stuff like that will scar you when you like, man, Pops ain't around. I gotta get it. He says, as I got older, I was like, I don't want to live like that. And in 2016, when Thomas had roughly 40 bands in credit card debt and was struggling to pay child support, he decided to look for a second remote job he could work on the sly. 2 years later, job struggling had helped him pay off his debt and he wasn't ready to give up. It is what it is. This man ain't he's trying to live high on the hog. Elon Musk did it. They all did it. All these folks had multiple companies running at the same time. And they want to shame the little people. He said, I felt kind of invincible, and it made me feel like that it will be one less thing I have to worry about in life, said Thomas, whose identity is known to Business Insider, but has been withheld due to his fear of professional repercussions. To this day, Thomas is secretly working 2 full-time remote jobs that pay over $250,000 a year in combined salaries. Doing so has helped him grow his net worth to $500,000, pay off 2 new cars, travel more, and find financial stability and freedom. Said he'd love to have a 3rd job if he can find the right fit. Man, look. Do your thing, man. Ain't no hating coming over here on the Being Black and IT podcast. It ain't no hate. It ain't no hate coming from over here, man. He's among a small group of U.S. workers, so it's not that many people. And see, while they trying to tell us, well, you over here and that's wrong and that's more moral and that let's talk about the child labor going on. Let's talk about that. Where it says now this is a different article and we're going to get back to it. Of 36 current and former freelance workers interviewed, all but 2 said they've had payments from the platform delayed, reduced, or canceled after completing tasks. The workers, known as taskers, said they often earn for below the minimum wage. Scale AI, which does work for firms like Meta, Microsoft, and generative AI companies like OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, says on its website that it is proud to pay rates at a living wage. In a statement, Anna Franco, a Scale AI spokesperson, said the pay system on remote tasks is continually improving based on worker feedback and that delays or interruptions to payments are exceedingly rare. But on an internal messaging platform for remote tasks, which the Washington Post accessed in July, notices of late or missing payments from supervisors were commonplace. On some projects, there were multiple notices in a single month. Sharice, 23, said she spent 4 hours on a task that was meant to earn her $2 and remote tasks paid her for 30 cents. Jackie, 26, said he worked 3 days on a project that he thought would earn him $50 and he got $12. Benz, 36, said he racked up more than $150 in payments when he was suddenly booted from the platform. He never got the money. This is the same Scale AI that Silicon and venture capitalists love to glaze. These are folks that are working for pennies. Pennies. Cyber International sent this to me. And this was from November 16, 2023. I'm going to read this in entirety. The next one. We're going to do a part 2 to this. Uncovering the murky relationship between child exploitation, AI, and the tech industry. With names like Apple, Tesla, Google, and many more, how has this issue gone overlooked? They making millions, billions of dollars. And you worried about Thomas over here making half a ticket a year. I ain't trying to hear it. Get your double up bread. Thomas is among a small group of U.S. workers, many in the tech and IT industry, secretly holding multiple remote jobs. Working more than one job at once may not violate federal or state laws, but it could breach some employment contracts and be a fireable offense if workers ever find out. Well, if you're working at, let's say you're working at United Health Group and then Medica That's an insurance form. Well, no, I'm not sure about that. But let's just say you're working at 2 hospitals, or let's say you're working at 2 of the same kind of industries or something. They feel like, well, man, you may say something to another place. I could get that. But he says, as layoffs have spread across the tech industry, we're gonna cover that too. And this was from February 14th. A full list, well, Business Insider's making me pay for it, but it's Paramount, Microsoft, it was a bunch of tech layoffs. He's even encouraged some colleagues to look for second jobs and provided advice on pulling it off. So he said finding the right job for overemployment isn't easy, but that's true. Roughly a year after he began his overemployment, he decided to take a break. He said one of his jobs became much more demanding and that he wanted to adjust to the workload before he took on a second job. Additionally, through his career, he has worked a mix of full-time and contract jobs, and the latter have typically an expiration date. As pandemic fears have eased in recent years, Thomas said he's also worked for companies that required employees to return to the office. Given working remotely was key to his overemployment, he decided to part ways with those employers. Yeah. These job separations are the main reason Thomas has had roughly 7 different jobs since 2017. While he's generally had more than 2 jobs at once, he said while he's generally had no more than 2 jobs at once, he said there were 3 to 4 months when he had 3 jobs and 1 month when he had 4. All but one of his jobs were remote. He said flexible working hours enabled him to juggle a hybrid and remote for a while. At his peak, he earned $400,000 across his jobs in a single fucking year. Oh, sorry about the F-bomb. Now, his 4 suggestions, and we're going to wrap it up because I got to go in a second, and we're going to keep this going. I think I got to do a part 2 tonight for y'all. First, he said, know your job well so you can complete tasks quickly and dedicated time to your other jobs. Second, figure out which job has more flexibility so you can reschedule around those meetings. Third, don't rely on the mouse jigglers. Fourth, if you think your boss is suspicious of you, it's probably time to leave that job. Yeah. He said job struggling has been fairly easy in his 2 current roles. Both jobs have flexible hours and the shifts start at different times of the day with only 3 hours of overlap. So he says, I'm going to keep going as long as I can. The rewards definitely outweigh the labor. Well, hey, do your thing, man. When y'all say that Elon is wrong for doing it, then you could say that we are. And we got this lame mayor. I want to play this talking about who is this mayor. This is our mayor. Frayed French fry, talking about remote work turns you into a loser.
Right now, crime downtown is down. That is something that you can talk about not just at your tables, but also when you're talking to someone.
Here we go.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is doubling down, defending his comments, calling remote workers, quote, losers for not returning to the office. Our Mary McGuire joining us live tonight. And so, Mary, the fact is that for many people, going to the office just isn't worth it.
It's not.
Well, Kelsey, the mayor is insisting this is all just a joke at a business luncheon, but it did strike a chord with some people that I spoke with. And it's also sparking a conversation about what employees really want.
Guys, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Mayor Jacob Frey doubling down. Reiterating his now viral comments about work from home were simply a joke.
Look, my goal as mayor, a responsibility that I have, is to bring people back downtown. I stand by that.
On Wednesday morning, Frey spoke at the Minneapolis Downtown Council's annual meeting, urging people to head back downtown and back into the office.
The mayor, you know what? You're banned from the Cedar Riverside Somali Mall by that Pakistani dude, ain't you? He needs to worry about his banning. They banning him from businesses.
Those who don't, losers.
When they stay home, sitting on their couch with their nasty cat blanket diddling on their laptop, If they do that for a few months, you become a loser.
Joke or not, the reality of downtown Minneapolis.
Well, I don't
is
have
that
a cat or a cat blanket. Definitely not.
many offices have sat empty after the switch to remote work during the pandemic. That's impacted businesses and the economy. The Downtown Council says 65% of its workforce has returned to the office in some capacity, and it's a trend we're seeing across the state. According to a U.S. Census survey done last year, 40% of workers here worked at least some days from home, and those we spoke with say it's a priority.
I think home family life benefits the most out of anything. It takes out of the stress of a commute, possibly to a city like this.
The trend of remote and hybrid work schedules is here to stay, according to the experts at Verseek, a Minneapolis-based recruiting and consulting firm.
On average, 3 days in office is pretty much the norm now.
While time in the office with coworkers is important, so is flexibility and predictability.
Of the active projects that we're working on now, 50% of them are hybrid, 40% of them are fully remote.
Now,
Well, and I can understand that. I get it. I do. Y'all probably think, well, man, I could understand, that. I mean, I really can. I could understand that they're losing money. I can. One other quick thing. The next broadcast, I want to do something on. I want to talk further into the overemployed work secret. I'm gonna break that down more. I'm gonna talk about this thing called D&B Hoovers, how to use that, and then how to look for jobs on Indeed and verify what they make. We're also gonna break down. There's an article, and it rubbed me a little strange about how foreign investors can rescue North Minneapolis. New proposal would match Asian employers with black workforce. We gonna have to talk about that. We really are gonna have to talk about that because I'm really getting to some menace to society vibes. Why can't it be the other way around? They giving these folks buildings and grants and all kind of stuff. It's really weird, man. It's really weird. I don't know if I'm the only person in Minneapolis that's seeing this, but I might have to post this on the other channel as well. Well, I got an hour in. I'm gonna go check something out. I'm gonna get back to y'all. I really appreciate the new subscribers, and we're building this slowly. So let's keep it moving, y'all. Peace.